Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel, and today we're talking about the Finals. The Finals is a recently released game by a collection of developers that used to work for DICE who formed their own studio called Embark. They had a playtest that was going on for a while, and then during the Game Awards they dropped the full game. And so far, in its first month of being released, it's been on a good run. Currently, at the time of recording, it sits 10th on the Steam charts for the last 30 days, just behind PUBG right now, and it's been higher at points. Also, at the time of recording, I just checked the Twitch numbers. There are 9.7k viewers right now. So it's not a ton in terms of the live stream viewership, but sitting 10th on the Steam charts is impressive. So the question is, can this game, that is seemingly the new first-person shooter on the block that, at least for now, is captivating people's attention, can it become a good esport? And by good, I mean healthy, have a lot of viewers, have big tournaments, have a lot of scale to it, and just be able to go on a long and healthy run. Because when you look at this game and when you play this game, and if you're a fan of first-person shooters, you can see that this game absolutely has potential. The shooting's good, there's a lot of destructibility to the environments, you can blow up and shoot through any wall or building, and it's really fun, but that doesn't mean that it can become a good esport. Is it good to watch? Is it good to watch pro players play this game? And we won't really know the answer to that question until we start seeing more tournaments, start seeing more pro players popping up. We'll probably see some players from other games switch over to the finals if there is a good opportunity for an esports career. But of course, in the first month of a game being out, and I guess a month before with the playtest, so maybe around 2 months of people playing the game, you're not going to have a ton of people that are already pros. You're just going to have people that are good right now. But so far, there haven't been any big scale tournaments to it so far. So can it get there? Can it become that next big esport? And I think all of that depends on a couple things, mainly the game mode. How does this game work? If you've already played this game, you already know the mode Bank-It. It's the main mode of the game. Teams have to get the maximum amount of money to win. So basically how it works is you have to get these blocks that are your money, and then you have to go deposit it, and you have to defend that deposit until the deposit goes through. It's 4 teams per game, 3 players per team. So looking at it in an esports sense, each match would have to have 4 teams playing it, so 12 players total. So 4 teams may sound like a lot, but 12 players total isn't that large amount of players. So it's not like Battlefield where there's a ton of players on the map at one time, and that's kind of the reason why Battlefield isn't a great esport, because there's just so many players, there's so many objective points, there's so much going on that you can't really look at it as a good spectator sport. So this game being made by the same people that did make Battlefield, at least a collection of the same people, they have definitely cut it down, trimmed it down, and made a game mode format that could potentially be good for spectating. So far there are 3 classes, so it is a class-based shooter as opposed to a hero-based shooter like Valorant or Overwatch. There's the light build, medium build, and the heavy build. Each build has their own weapons, each build has their own abilities, and some are better than others and some aren't, but we're not getting into the balance today. So far, I think the game has done a pretty good job at balancing. It's not perfect, obviously, but there aren't as many balance issues at launch as we've seen for other games. It's fast-paced, the buildings can be destroyed, you can shoot through any wall or building, as I said earlier in the video, and I think that could potentially be too chaotic. Things do get very chaotic when you're playing this game. A lot of things are happening, but generally everyone is in one spot because you're fighting for that deposit. So while there's not a ton of players on the field, there is a lot going on in terms of just everyone coming together in one moment. So how do spectators really look at that and know what's going on, know what's an insane play or not? How does the crew running the live stream, how does the commentators, how do they navigate that chaoticness? Because we've seen that before as well with Overwatch or whatever, where it's just there's so much going on and you don't know, there's just colors everywhere, and it's kind of hard to understand on a surface level what's going on. So I could see the finals having that problem, but at the same time, I think having 12 players on the team, I think 3v3v3v3 isn't too overwhelming of an amount of people and stuff going on, and you can understand what's happening when you're playing the game. I do think that it's trimmed down enough where it's not too chaotic. It might get to that point eventually, though, and we'll see how it works just when you're watching the game in an esports sense. But what this game does have is a game show aspect to it. So essentially the finals in the world of the game, it's a game show. It's a game show where, these teams will fight for the cash outs and all this stuff. So it already has that kind of aesthetic of being a spectator sport. But just because you have that aesthetic can it actually be a good spectator sport? And so far, right now, the game definitely feels like it needs more content. You need more maps, you need more weapons, and you need more things to do. Obviously, you have to have a good launch, and so far, I think the launch, especially when you just look at the numbers, it's been very successful so far. So you have to keep that going. You have to keep the player base happy by getting more content out, and that will definitely help grow your esports scene. So I definitely think the finals has a pretty good chance to be a good esport. I haven't watched a ton of it on Twitch yet. I haven't played a ton of the game yet. I've played a little bit, but from what I have played of the finals so far, I think it has a lot of potential. It's clearly made by a studio that had a really good vision, that had a good idea of what they wanted to do, and I do think that they had esports in mind when they made this game. I mean, it's a game show in the game. Like, the game is a game show. So I do think that they definitely had that spectator sport aspect in mind when they were thinking of it. So I think, as I said, I think it could potentially be too chaotic. It might potentially be too many players or too many, I guess, things that have to go right for a healthy esports scene to grow, but I absolutely think it's possible, and they're off to a great start. So we'll see what Embark does to maybe plan some tournaments to put some money behind the esports scene, or if we see organizations like ESL, PGL rise up and start running tournaments for this game. I'm sure that will happen at some point, so we'll see how those go when those happen. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. Just want to make a quick video about this because I think the finals absolutely has an interesting future ahead of it. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Like this video if you enjoyed it, and subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!